Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to this week trade recap video. This week you can see I got involved in 5 positions, 2 current positions that it's still running right now. Ethereum is running about 3.2%. Dollar Swiss is another big one that is currently running live about 3.7% or so. And I also closed down NASDAQ here. 2 position closed down, I think about 3.91%. And S&P 500 closed down for 2%. And I have Pound CAD here closed down for a full 1% loss. So let's take a look at all these positions from my overall higher time frame to lower time frame analysis, management, and etc. So starting with Ethereum here, if we look at the higher time frame here on Ethereum, you can clearly see that after price made an all-time high, we pushed down the price here, and then we start moving up correctively in this larger kind of higher time frame ascending structure. So this is one of the structure that I always talk about as a M style pattern where we have the right side of the M move up correctively, and we have double top, we have other kind of price action analysis that strengthen the possible of the reversal, and this kind of price action analysis has a very strong probability of working out or playing out in our favor. So we can see the higher time frame double top, we have that ascending channel structure, and at the top here we're slowing down. When we look at the lower time frame here, within the higher time frame ascending structure, we also have a lower time frame ascending channel as well. So this is one thing that we always talk about: patterns within patterns, structure within structures. So you have add confluence to your overall analysis and overall position. So at the top here, you can see after we break the all-time high, price didn't really impulsively push up or form any type of continuation. Instead, we move up correctively in this ascending channel, and we have a lower time frame head and shoulder pattern as well. So I like how price had that initial impulse down. We look at the lower time frame here, lower time frame impulse down, and followed by a lower time frame continuation. This is kind of exactly what I was waiting for in this scenario is price push down the price, and then we form a continuation kind of pattern here, and you're looking for another push down from the price all the way down to the beginning of this ascending structure as a potential target. So we look at the lower time frame here. I like how after the initial push down, I was basically waiting for a larger correction or larger continuation to give myself a potential entry. I like how we have few swing highs and few swing low in this structure. At the top here, we have a smaller reversal correction after the initial bullish push up. So we talk about impulse phase followed by correction phase. And if it's not followed by a continuation impulse, it's likely to follow by a reversal impulse, which is what we get here. Reversal impulse down followed by the first continuation. Just set my entry order below, set the stop loss above the high of this correction. So I was pretty generous with this one. $90 as a stop loss here, and basically price tag me here, just a massive sell off to the downside. And then now it's forming another continuation correction, basically another correction after breakout from this type of correction. And enter with a scaling entry order here, price tag me in. It's kind of hovering around here for now, likely because there's not too much liquidity during the weekend, but when Asian session opens up, when London or New York, we might even get further downside from the price. I like the overall price action here, and the higher time frame and lower time frame basically give me that good bias here. So, like I said, currently running about 3.2% right now on these two sales right now on my crypto account. So that's Ethereum. Let's talk about dollar Swiss here. So dollar Swiss, we look at the higher time frame. Same idea, when we see a really strong downside impulsive phase, naturally we know that we're going to be a consolidation phase. And on higher time frame here, again, few swing high, few swing low to make up this as a kind of ascending structure, but it is a continuation for this kind of price action to go potentially push down lower. When we look at the lower time frame here, what I like about the price here is we made a double top here on the price and price moving up, and then we basically form the ascending structure moving correctively, pushing up the price to that double top here. And basically at this time I was basically looking for a possible sell for the price, either a double top would form and then lower time frame continuation here to push up the price, and alternatively we could push up the price a little bit more to the top and then still a sell off here. But in this case, this was enough for the price to just kind of have a massive sell off here, and we broke this previous low as well. So very clean, very good price action here. When we look at the lower time frame in terms of entry, after that ascending structure pushing up to the double top, initially price pushed down here. I was basically looking for a possible entry here if we get some sort of consolidation. Instead, price made one last attempt to push up the price and then form a little bit of a consolidation here, basically a reversal correction, and the price pushed down. And when I see that, I'm basically looking for any type of lower time frame correction, one that I see after completing this top here and everything else from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame already satisfying my plan to enter. So with the price push down, breaking this previous low. So basically higher high and lower low pushing down, breaking this previous low. I was looking for a first type of lower time frame continuation, price action, any kind of consolidation once we broke this low, when I see this kind of a momentum coming into the market. And I look for a smaller correction here, set the entry order below, set the stop loss above, actually above this high here. I think it's about 25 pips stop loss or so. And price basically take me in, just kind of push down once more. Once it pushed down, consolidated another one, I basically move my stop loss to break even for this one, and then enter with the scaling entry for the second one here. Same idea, stop loss below the correction, and entry below the correction and stop loss above the high. This one it's about 25 pips here, and price continued to pushing down. So I like how we broke this previous low, the previous low of this ascending structure. So we're likely to consolidate here a little bit more, and then perhaps pushing down to the bottom of the higher time frame structure that we're currently in. If we're able to break out of the structure, if we're able to continue out of the correction and then further downside, then further correction, further bearish continuation is very possible to eventually reach the low of this previous low. So that's dollar Swiss that is currently running about 3.7% or so right now. So we'll see how this one goes into the next week. Three position that closed down from this week as well. NASDAQ here. So NASDAQ, we've been talking about the possible sell for many, many times already. And finally, we're getting that push down for the price that we're looking for at the top of the overall structure. So we talk about, excuse me, talk about for the higher time frame here, NASDAQ is shaping up for that possible reversal. We just did it in this video, indices video, breaking down all these ones. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that one. That is in my trading view, complete breakdown analysis in the indices market. That will kind of outline kind of everything we talk about here. So my bias here has been short for almost all the time since we're at the top of the overall structure, and you can see finally we're getting some sort of reversal, and we're getting a little bit of a sell-off here across the market from last Friday. And we look at the lower time frame here. Beginning of the week, I was looking for a possible sell. Well, we see the price moving up the price correctively to the top, and then we had a first initial push up, was not followed by bullish continuation, instead followed by a bearish reversal. So again, these type of price action we talk about bullish move up, not followed by continuation, instead a reversal impulse followed by continuation like so. That is usually going to give you a very strong probability of playing out the price. So after I see that initial push down for the price, basically was waiting for a lower time frame continuation, which I did. Set the entry order below the correction, set the stop loss above. I think it was $90 or so. Price take me in, pushed down massively, and breaking out of this ascending structure here. So I'm looking for a scaling entry opportunity. Price for the scaling, and then I tagging in for my scaling position. And then during New York session, it basically formed another continuation and push down. And I was looking to hold on to the trade, but when I start seeing this lower time frame kind of development here, when I start seeing a little bit of a bullish reversal, it looks like to me at the time, I wouldn't know what will happen later on. To me, all I saw was a bullish kind of a descending structure potential reversal, and I didn't want to give back all the profit back to the market, so adjust my trade accordingly. First trade, I moved down the stop loss to about 1 to 1 or so. Second one, secure a little bit more, about 2.7 or so, and eventually price basically for that reversal bullish correction, and then push up here, and then pretty much take me out here for both position. And like I said, first one for 2.78%, second one for about 1.13. So total about 3.91 or so. So I'm pretty happy with the overall result. And as we can see afterwards, towards the end of the week, we start getting this bearish continuation price action. We start getting into a pattern here, and then price kind of have a sell-off on Friday New York session. So what do I expect here from moving forward during next week? Well, this is the previous low that price hasn't broken yet, right? So I really would like to see on Monday or Tuesday we just continue pushing down the price, and eventually we're going to have a consolidation here. And I still think there's quite a bit of room to the downside. And perhaps if we do get the sell-off like the coronavirus time, we can certainly expect further downside on a higher time frame to continue if we're going to complete this higher time frame ascending structure. Now, S&P 500 is going to be the same thing if you look at the higher time frame again. Similar structure like the COVID previous time. And at the top of the overall structure, let's take a look at the entry that I have during the beginning of the week. It's going to be very similar like NASDAQ. We had that initial bullish push up again, and was not followed by continuation. Instead, what we have here is we have that double top here. We have this ascending structure, price push up, reversal impulse, and then followed by continuation correction. So set the entry order, stop loss above the high, price tag me in, push down, and I'm looking for that same scale in entry. If we look at the same with NASDAQ, when we had that same second scale in entry, it's the same idea here on S&P 500. Smaller correction here, set the entry order, stop loss above the high, and then price kind of continue pushing down, and then it forms the same kind of bullish reversal, just like NASDAQ here during the New York session. If we take a look at here, basically we start forming into this type of correction here. It just didn't really push down, instead it pushed up. So all I can do is for my second scale in entry, I move into break even. And at first entry here secured about 2% or so. So total 2 position got off for 2% profit here. Again, pretty okay with the result. I wouldn't know what will happen later on. We already pushed down quite a bit already. I wouldn't know if this is going to start having a bullish reversal from this point. So I'm happy to secure profit here, and then basically observe a little bit more to see what the price will do after completing the overall correction. Basically, I like what we see on Friday, right? Again, the same thing with NASDAQ. After the initial push down, we create a larger kind of continuation pattern, impulse correction, and we just had the massive sell-off on Friday. And what I like about it now is we broke this previous low, which is good, and now we're basically looking to see what we're going to get, another continuation price action here, and we have a lot of room for another sell-off here if we're going to get a bearish continuation. So that's S&P 500. Last one to go over is Pound CAD. Pound CAD is a trade I took for a 1% loss. Overall higher time frame here. I like the overall higher time frame price action, higher time frame consolidation. We have that double bottom here. If we look closely, we have kind of an inverse head and shoulder here. So I was basically looking for a potential upside move. If we get a completion of this right shoulder, I think there's lots of room to the upside if it does play out. If we look at the lower time frame here, I was basically looking at this as a descending structure here. And we also have that inverse head and shoulder pattern as well on a higher time frame. So price basically impulse out of this descending structure here, and it formed that bullish continuation, bullish correction after breakout entry. And I set the entry order just above the high of the correction and then stop loss below. I actually set the entry order and then it kind of got triggered here during the rollover time, so that was a mistake on my end. Should have probably removed the entry order after the spread settles down. But either or, I would have got tagged in here anyways. So price tag me here and then just hover around here and then eventually push down here for a 1% loss. Not much I could do here. The entry already happened. I just let the trade run, push down, and then basically it had the sharp bullish reversal, which is nice to see because that basically aligns that everything we talk about on the higher time frame. Everything on the higher time frame still stands. The higher time frame bullish reversal still stands. It's just the entry that I took personally took a 1% loss, and that's fine because the overall direction, the overall bias here seems to be working out now. So what I will be waiting for here is if we continue push up and then if we form some sort of consolidation, I think this is still a possible buy, still a possible bullish reversal based on the higher time frame and based on lower time frame and multi-time frame analysis and patterns within patterns. So to recap everything, Pound CAD here is a 1% loss here and still looking for a possible bullish upside. S&P 500 got out 2%, 2 position for 2% profit, and NASDAQ here 2 position got off for 3.91%. And the 2 current position that I'm still running around is dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss is running about 3.7% right now on 2 position. And Ethereum here, I think it's running about 3.2% right now. 3.3% right now as we speak, and we'll see how these positions go in the upcoming week. So any question, comment, feedback, welcome to let me know, guys. If you like these type of breakdown, these type of trade recap video, feel free to subscribe and like for follow more. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow for my weekly market outlook.